The Harmattan wind swept through Sokoto Central Market, carrying the scent of roasted groundnut and red dust that settled on everything it touched. 12-year-old Zainab sat beside her mother near the old motor park, her faded hijab barely distinguishing her from the dusty ground beneath them. "Kai! Not here again," a bread seller spat, waving her hand dismissively. "You're blocking my customers. Find somewhere else to beg." Zainab tightened her grip on her mother's wrapper, pulling it to cover her properly. Hajiya Binta had stopped making sense 3 years ago. Now she hummed old Hausa songs, laughed at invisible things, and cried over sorrows only she could see. "Mama, please stay quiet today," Zainab whispered, "just for a little while." But Hajiya Binta suddenly stood, pointing at a passing truck. "My children, they are taking my twins away. Stop them." The driver honked angrily. People stared. Some pitied. Others laughed. A group of secondary school students paused nearby, and Zainab caught one girl's eyes before she quickly looked away, whispering to her friend. Zainab's cheeks burned. She was used to it. The stares, the names, the crazy woman and her daughter, those cursed ones, that poor girl with the mad mother. What nobody knew was that beneath the dust and hunger, Zainab's mind was brilliant. While other children struggled with homework, she could solve mathematics in her head, memorize passages after reading them once, understand concepts that took others weeks to grasp. She had attended school once, briefly, for 4 beautiful months, when a neighbor named Balama Rakia paid her fees. Those months had been paradise. She devoured every lesson, raised her hand constantly, memorized everything the teacher wrote. The other students nicknamed her Radio because she always had an answer. Then Malama Rakia's husband lost his business, the family moved to Kano, and Zainab's education ended as abruptly as it had begun. She tried returning to the school, standing outside the rusty gate day after day. The headmaster had been kind but firm. "Without fees, we cannot admit you. This is not charity." That was 2 years ago. Now, Zainab spent her days watching over her mother, begging for coins and stealing glimpses of education wherever she could. Her father remained a mystery. He was a soldier who passed through. Her mother had said once, years ago, during a rare lucid moment, "We weren't properly married. When he left, I never saw him again. Then you came, and my family said I'd brought shame. They sent me away." After that, the illness began, first as confusion, then as complete mental breakdown. And Zainab, just a child herself, became the caretaker. They slept wherever they could, sometimes in an abandoned kiosk, sometimes under a bridge. Their mattress was cardboard, their blanket was each other. But Zainab still dreamed, not of houses or comfort. Those dreams hurt too much. She dreamed of school. In her sleep, she saw herself in a classroom, her name in an attendance book, a teacher calling on her while other students watched in admiration. Then she would wake to her mother's mumbling, to hard ground, to another day of survival. Yet Zainab had one secret: rebellion. She refused to let her mind die. Every day, she walked past Sultan Bello Primary School and stood by the fence during lessons. She couldn't go inside, but she could hear everything through the windows. She would crouch behind the neem tree and listen. Mathematics on Mondays and Wednesdays, English on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She would whisper answers under her breath, trace numbers in the dust, memorize multiplication tables and spelling words. Sometimes, teachers chase her away. "Go tell your parents to pay fees," they would shout. But the next day, she would return hidden better, quieter. She only borrowed knowledge, the one thing that couldn't be locked behind gates. One afternoon, Zainab sat under her usual neem tree, working through a difficult mathematics problem in the dust, a quadratic equation the teacher had left unsolved on the board. She was so focused she didn't notice the girl approaching until a shadow fell across her walk. Zainab looked up, startled. A pupil stood there, about 13, in a spotless uniform. her name tag reading Amina Diko. Can you really solve that? Amina asked quietly, glancing back to ensure no one was watching. Zainab scrambled to her feet, wiping away the cushion. I didn't mean any harm. I was just... No, wait, I'm not reporting you. Can you actually solve it? I've been staring at it for 2 days. Zainab hesitated, then nodded. How? Even the teacher didn't finish explaining it. Slowly, carefully, Zainab began explaining. You see, when you have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0, you need two numbers that multiply to give 6 and add to give 5. Those are 2 and 3. So it factors as x plus 2 in bracket times x plus 3 in bracket equals 0. That means s is negative 2 or negative 3. Amina's eyes widened. That's it. That's all. Yes, it's about finding the relationship between numbers. But how do you know this? You don't even attend this school? Zainab looked at her bare, dusty feet. I listened through the fence. I watched. I remember. Amina was silent for a moment. My name is Amina. What's yours? Zainab. I am the daughter of Alhaji Mohammed Diko. I attend the best schools, have the best teachers, but I struggle with everything. My father is always disappointed. Her voice dropped. But you understand things I can never grasp. How? I just love learning, Zainab said simply. Will you be here tomorrow? I am here every day, Zainab said. Then can you teach me? Help me understand, please. Zainab's heart pounded. You want me to teach you? Yes, I'll bring my books. We can meet here. No one comes to this side during break. And so, under a neem tree on the dusty edges of Sultan Bello Primary School, an unlikely friendship was born. Every day during lunch break, Amina slipped away to meet Zainab. She brought textbooks and confusion. Zainab brought clarity. See this grammar, Zainab would explain. Subject, verb, agreement just means they must match. If the subject is plural, the verb must be plural too. Like matching your slippers, there must be a pair. Amina would nod, understanding, finally downing. Why can't teachers explain it like that? Maybe they forget what it's like not to understand. Slowly, miraculously, Amina improved. Her test scores rose. Her confidence grew. Teachers who had given up on her started taking notice. Amina never mentioned Zainab, afraid that if adults knew, they would stop it. But she gave back in other ways, bringing extra food from home. Our cook made too much, she would say, though both knew it was a lie. One day, Amina brought something wrapped in newspaper. Inside were pencils, erasers, and a brand new exercise book. Amina, I cannot. You can and you will. How can you teach properly, writing in dust? That night, by street lamplight, Zainab opened the exercise book and wrote on the first page, Zainab Musa, property of knowledge, given by friendship. As weeks became months, they talked about everything, dreams, fears, life. My father wants me to be a doctor, Amina confided, but I don't think I'm smart enough. You are smart. You just learn differently. There's no one way to be intelligent. You should be the doctor. You understand everything. Zainab's smile faded. People like me don't become doctors. We don't even finish primary school. That's not fair. No, but it's reality. What if I told my father about you? He has money. He could help. No, Zainab said quickly, fear in her eyes. Please don't tell anyone. If he finds out you are spending time with someone like me, a nobody, a street girl, with a mad mother, he might forbid you from seeing me. Reluctantly, Amina agreed. For now. But secrets never stay hidden long. Other students began noticing Amina's disappearances. They followed her one day and saw her with that street girl. The gossip spread like wildfire. Amina is friends with a beggar, the daughter of the mad woman. Maybe madness is contagious. During class, a girl named Hauwa whispered loud enough for everyone to hear. I heard you are running a charity school under a tree. What next, Amina? Bathing with gutter water. The class erupted in laughter. That afternoon, Amina found Zainab waiting, troubled. What happened? Zainab asked. They know about us. Zainab's stomach dropped. What did they see? It doesn't matter. Amina sat down firmly. I don't care what they think. Now, explain photosynthesis again. It will be on the exam. Zainab looked at her friend, this girl who chose friendship over popularity, compassion over cruelty, and felt warmth bloom in her chest. You're the bravest person I know, Zainab said. No, I just found a real friend. Now teach me about plants before I fail. They both laughed. But the whispers reached the principal, who made an announcement. Students have been interacting with unauthorized persons outside school premises. Effective immediately, all students must remain within the compound during school hours. Violators will face suspension. The gates closed. Zainab couldn't reach Amina anymore. That evening, Amina cried for the first time in years. Her father noticed. What's wrong? The story tumbled out about Zainab, the lessons under the trees, how her grades had improved, how the school had stopped it. Alhaji Diko set down his fork slowly. This girl who helps you, is she the one they call the daughter of the mad woman? Amina nodded, expecting anger. Instead, he asked, has she really helped you? Yes, my grades improved because of her, Dad. My teachers are happy now. He was silent for a long time. A homeless girl had done what expensive tutors couldn't. I want to meet her, he finally said. The next afternoon, Alhaji Muhammad Diko arrived at the motor park in his modest Mercedes. Amina waited anxiously at the school gate. They drove to where Zainab sat beside her mother, a woman in rags, rocking herself and humming, and beside her a girl with intelligent eyes and dusty feet. Alhaji Diko observed them before approaching. He saw how Zainab protected her mother, gently adjusted her wrapper, whispered soothing words. He walked over slowly, squatting to Zainab's level rather than looming over her. Salam alaikum, alaikum. Where alaikum salam, Zainab replied cautiously. Seeing Amina in the car, she understood now. Are you Zainab? Yes, sir. My daughter says you've been teaching her. I didn't mean trouble, sir. I only wanted to help her. She's smart. She just needed things explained differently. I never asked for anything. I swear, sir. I know. That's not why I'm here. He paused. How did you learn to teach when you have no education? I had education for 4 months, sir. A neighbor paid. After that, I learned by listening through fences, watching, remembering. Knowledge is everywhere if you pay attention. Why aren't you in school now? No one to pay fees, sir. My mother is sick. I have no father. We survive on what people give us. He glanced at Hajiya Binta, arranging pebbles in patterns. Only she understood. What happened to your mother? An illness of the mind. He came after my bed, slowly at first, then completely. And your father? A soldier who passed through. He didn't stay. No bitterness, just facts. Alhaji Diko was quiet. Then, what would you do if someone gave you a real chance at education? Hope and disbelief were in her eyes. I will learn everything. Work harder than anyone. Prove that intelligence doesn't only belong to rich children. He smiled at her boldness. You're right. It doesn't. He stood. Zainab, I'm going to make you an offer. First, your mother needs proper medical care. Sir, I cannot leave her. You won't have to. There's a psychiatric facility here with good doctors. They can help her make her comfortable. Maybe help her remember. What would you want that? Would you want that? Tears welled in her eyes. Yes, sir. More than anything. Then let me arrange it. And while she receives treatment, you will stay with my family and attend school, proper school, with uniform, books, everything. Zainab couldn't breathe. Sir, why would you do this? You don't know me. He crouched again, looking her in the eyes. Because you helped my daughter when you had every reason to be bitter. Because you chose kindness. Because I believe Allah puts people in our paths for a reason. Maybe you are in mine because I'm supposed to help you. And maybe I'm in yours because you're supposed to show the world what's possible. He extended his hand. What do you see? She looked at his hand, then her mother, then back. Slowly, trembling, she placed her small rough hand in his. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Allah yamaka abaka. May God bless you. Amin. Now come, let's take your mother to people who can help. Within hours, Ajia Binta was admitted to Sokoto's leading psychiatric facility under Dr. Halima Suleiman's care. She resisted at first, screaming about prison and lost children, but the staff were gentle and experienced. She will be frightened at first, Dr. Halima assured Zainab, but we'll help her feel safe. You can visit regularly. She's not alone anymore, neither are you. That night, Zainab slept in a real bed for the first time she could remember, in Alhaji Diko's compound in the quiet Jidan Awaki district. Amina had been overjoyed. You will stay next to my room. We'll be like sisters. The house staff had looked confused. A street girl in their master's home? But Alhaji Diko's instructions were clear. This is Zainab. She will be treated as my daughter. Anyone who disrespects her answers to me. After a bath, where she scrubbed away layers of street cream. After a meal, where she ate until her stomach hurt in the best way. After Amina showed her how the air conditioning worked, Zainab lay in darkness and cried. Not from sadness, from relief, from gratitude, from the overwhelming weight of a life suddenly impossibly changed. The next morning, she stood outside Sultan Bello Primary School in a brand new uniform. Green skirt, white blouse, proper shoes. Amina stood beside her, beaming. Ready? Zainab nodded, heart hammering. They walked through the gate together. Students stared, whispers rippled. Is that the beggar girl? Why is she wearing her uniform? I heard Alhaji Diko enrolled her. The headmaster, Malam Ibrahim, had been surprised when Alhaji Diko personally brought Zainab to register. She's never taken entrance exam before. How do we know what class to place her? Test her, Alhaji Diko said simply. They did. For 2 hours, Zainab walked through problems in every subject. She finished early. When Malam Ibrahim checked her answers, his eyes widened. This is just JSS2 level work. She's far beyond primary 6. Then enroll her in JSS2. Don't hold her back. The first week was hard, not academically but socially. Students whispered, excluded her, made comments just loud enough to hear. She probably cheated. She's only here because of pity. I bet she can't even afford lunch. Only Amina stood right by her, and surprisingly, a quiet boy named Ibrahim who sat in the back. When girls knocked Zainab's books off her desk and laughed, Ibrahim helped her pick them up. Don't mind them, he said quietly. Jealousy makes people ugly. Why help me? Everyone thinks I don't belong. He shrugged. You answered that math question yesterday better than the teacher. That's enough for me. By the end of the first month, gossip began changing. The first continuous assessment results were posted. Zainab Musa, Mathematics 98 over 100, English 96 over 100, Basic Science 100 over 100, Social Studies 94 over 100. Top of the class in every subject. Mrs. Hadiza, who had been more skeptical, addressed the class. Some of you whispered that Zainab doesn't belong here. This girl scored higher than all of you after only 4 months of formal schooling in her life. Perhaps, instead of mocking her, you should ask her to teach you. Silence. After class, students approached tentatively. Can you help me with that algebra problem? I don't understand that science answer. Zainab nodded. Yes, I can help. Word spread. Soon small groups gathered around her during breaks, asking questions. She explained patiently, breaking down complex concepts, just as she had done for Amina. Acceptance grew. At home, life found rhythm. Wake for sub prayer, study, help with small tasks. She insisted on contributing, go to school with Amina, evenings for homework, and visiting her mother twice weekly. Hajiya Binta's progress was slow but real. Medication calmed her worst delusions. She had confused days, but also moments of clarity. Precious moments when she recognized her daughter. Zainab, she whispered once, touching her face. My Zainab, you're growing beautiful. Zainab wept. Mama, do you know who I am? You're my daughter, my smart girl. I'm sorry I couldn't take care of you. No, Mama, don't be sorry. You're getting better. That's all that matters. The moment didn't last, but it was enough to give hope. 3 months in, Zainab sat with Alajitiko in his study. Your teachers say you're doing excellently well, he said. Top of your class in everything. I'm doing my best, sir. You're excelling. What do you want to become? What are your dreams? She had thought about this question often, but never dared speak it aloud. I want to be a doctor, she whispered. I want to help people like my mother, people whose illnesses are invisible. I want to become a psychiatrist. He smiled, warm and gentle. Then that's exactly what you'll become. You have the intelligence. I'll make sure you have the opportunity. The rest is your hard work. Sir, why are you doing this for me? You're wrong if you think you're nobody. You are a brilliant young woman with extraordinary potential. And what you give me, you've given me back my daughter's confidence. You've given our family lessons in humility and gratitude. You've reminded me why Allah blesses some with wealth. Not to hoard it, but to lift others. That's not nothing. That's everything. Tears slipped down her cheeks. I will make you proud. I promise you, sir. I know you won't waste this. And Zainab, you can call me daddy if you want. You're as much my daughter as Amina. The word struck in her throat, a word she had never had the right to use. Daddy, she whispered, testing it. He nodded, eyes bright. Yes, daughter. Now go finish your homework. I expect excellence from my children. She left working on air. The junior secondary school certificate examination came. By then, Zainab was no longer the curiosity. She was simply the brilliant student who tutored half the class, who made learning possible for those who had given up. Results were posted on a bright July morning. Zainab Musa, first position in the entire Sokoto state, 399 out of 400 marks. The schoolyard erupted in cheers. Teachers beamed. Malam Ibrahim announced it during assembly, voice thick with emotion. This young woman came with nothing but determination and intelligence. She hasn't just succeeded, she has shattered every expectation. She's proof that talent exists everywhere, waiting only for opportunity. Local newspapers picked it up. From street to stardom, Sokoto girl top state exams, radio stations called for interviews. But the sweetest moment came at the hospital. Zainab sat beside her mother, holding the newspaper with her picture on the front page. Hajiya Binta was having a good day, eyes clear, mind present. Mama, look, I came first in the whole state. Her mother took the paper with trembling hands, staring at her daughter's photo in school uniform, smiling confidently. Is this my baby? Yes, Mama. Hajiya Binta began sobbing. Deep, wrenching sobs. I thought I'd destroyed your life, but look at you. Look at what you've become. Zainab held her close. You didn't destroy anything. You gave me life. You loved me the best you could. That was always enough. Senior secondary school brought new challenges. Zainab enrolled in government science secondary school, known for producing top students. The rigor was intense, competition fierce, but she thrived. She joined the debate society, became their star speaker, started a free tutoring program on Saturdays for poor students, holding sessions under the same kind of tree where she had taught Amina, wrote articles for the school magazine about education, access, and mental health awareness. Through it all, Amina remained her closest friend. They studied together, laughed together, dreamed together. You're going to be famous, Amina said one evening. Zainab laughed. I don't want fame. I just want to help people. You will do both. Watch. The West African Secondary School Certificate examination arrived. The test determining university admission. Everyone expected Zainab to top the state again. Teachers watched her every assignment. The governor mentioned her in speeches. I feel like I am carrying everyone's expectations, she confessed to Amina. Then you fail and disappoint everyone, Amina said pragmatically. You are human. You are allowed to be imperfect. People who truly love you will love you whether you come first or 50th. The exam came. 3 weeks of intense testing. Zainab prepared meticulously, but also remembered the braid, to pray, to trust. When it ended, she felt neither triumphant nor defeated, just tried. How did it go? Alhaji Diko asked. I did my best, Daddy. The rest is with Allah. Then that's enough. Result came out 4 months later. The family gathered. Alhaji Diko, his wife, Amina, Ibrahim, the page loaded. Zainab Musa, 8A1s. Position, second in Sokoto State, 15th nationally. The room erupted in celebration. Later, on the veranda, Zainab said quietly, I came second, not first. And you are disappointed? A little. I wanted to make you proud. He turned to her fully. When I met you, you were a child with nothing. Today, you are a young woman with 8 A's and a guaranteed university future. You didn't come first in the state. So what? You came first in life. You won the moment you refused to let circumstances define you. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Thank you, Daddy, for seeing me when I was invisible. You were never invisible. You were just waiting for the right eyes to look. Zainab gained admission to Osman Danfodio University to study medicine and surgery, specializing towards psychiatry. Her first year was crushing, not theoretically, but practically. Working with real patients, handling equipment, managing the emotional weight of suffering challenged her. During clinical rotation, she encountered a patient like her mother, an older woman, confused and restrained, while her shamed family stood outside. A senior doctor spoke curtly. Your mother is unstable. We will medicate her. Don't expect miracles. After he left, Zainab approached the family. May I sit with her? She entered and sat beside the restrained woman, speaking softly in Hausa. Sanu, Hajiya, I am Zainab. I'm not here to hurt you, just to talk. Slowly, gently, she spoke about simple things, the market, the call to prayer, the taste of kunu, drink. Gradually, the woman calmed, her breathing slowed, her hands unclenched. Zainab emerged 30 minutes later. The family stared in astonishment. What did you do? She's been violent for days. I reminded her she's human, that even in confusion, she deserves dignity. The senior doctor, watching from the nurse's station, called her aside. That was impressive. What year are you? First year, sir. You have a gift. Don't lose it in textbooks. Medicine is science, but healing is art. That crystallized everything. This was why she had survived, been given a second chance, not just to succeed for herself, but to help others trapped in darkness. Her mother's condition continued improving. By Zainab's third year, Hajiya Binta had moved to a supervised group home. Good days now outnumbered bad. One afternoon, Zainab brought her to campus. They sat under a tree, not unlike where everything began. And Hajiya Binta looked at her daughter with clear, proud eyes. Tell me what you're learning. Zainab talked about neurotransmitters, how the brain processes information, new treatments for mental illness. Hajiya Binta listened, glowing with pride. My daughter, the doctor, I prayed, even in my confusion, that you would have more than I could give. Allah heard me. He did, Mama. Amina had pursued journalism, writing features about social issues. She wrote a long piece about Zainab's journey, published in a national magazine. The girl who refused to be broken. The article went viral, sparking conversations about education, access, and mental health stigma. But it brought unwanted attention, cameras, interviews, people wanting to use her story. Zainab learned to protect her peace. She gave interviews selectively, steering conversations to systemic issues rather than personal narrative. My story is important, she told one journalist, but it's exceptional. What we should discuss is making opportunity normal, not exceptional. building systems where every Zainab gets a chance, not just lucky ones who meet generous people. In her final year, Zainab presented her thesis, Culturally Responsive Mental Health Treatment in Northern Nigeria, Breaking the Stigma. It examined how traditional beliefs created treatment barriers and proposed community-based interventions, respecting cultural values while providing modern care. Her thesis won the university's award for best research. More importantly, it caught the Federal Ministry of Health's attention, which invited her to join a mental health policy task force after graduation. At graduation, Zainab stood on the stage in her white coat, Dr. Zainab Musa, looking at the audience. Alhaji Diko sat front row with his wife and Amina, beaming. Her mother sat beside them, dressed beautifully, smiling and clapping. Ibrahim was there, having graduated the previous year in engineering. Teachers from Sultan Bello, Dr. Halima, Malam Ibrahim, all there. When she received her certificate, applause was thunderous. During her speech as best graduate, she said something quoted for years afterward. I stand here not because I was special, but because I was seen. Somewhere in Nigeria right now, there's a child as smart as me, maybe smarter, but there are invisible sleeping under bridges, begging at motor parks. My challenge to everyone, don't just celebrate my success, go find the next Zainab. Open the door for someone who can't open it themselves, because talent is universal, but opportunity is not. Until we fix that, my story remains exceptional when it should be ordinary. The applause shook the auditorium. The legacy lives 5 years after graduation. Dr. Zainab Musa had established herself as one of Sokoto's leading psychiatrists. She worked at the teaching hospital 3 days weekly, seeing patients from all backgrounds. She offered free consultations twice monthly. But her passion project was the Zainab Hope Foundation, a scholarship and support program for children of mentally ill parents. The foundation paid fees, provided counseling, connected families with mental health resources. She had partnered with Alhaji Diko for funding and Amina for communications. Together, they had supported over 200 children across Sokoto State. One Saturday, during her free tutoring session, a security officer approached. Doctor, there's a young girl asking for you. She seems distressed. Zainab found a girl of about 11 waiting, one clothes but clean, bare feet, eyes holding familiar hope and desperation. Are you Dr. Zainab? The girl asked shyly. I am. The one who lived by the motor park, whose mother was sick? Yes. My name is Hauwa. My father died last year. My mother acts strange, talks to people who aren't there, forgets to eat. My grandmother says she's cursed, that I should leave her, but I don't want to abandon her. I heard about you, how you didn't abandon your mother. I thought maybe you could tell me what to do. Zainab's heart clenched. She was looking at herself from 12 years ago. She knelt to the girl's level. Hauwa, you're very brave for seeking help. Your mother isn't cursed. She is ill. An illness can be treated. Where is she now? At home, near Kasarawa Market. Can you take me to her? The girl's eyes widened. You would come? Of course. That's what I do. Within an hour, Zainab arranged for a medical team. Hauwa's mother was diagnosed with depression and early-stage psychosis, treatable conditions. Zainab immediately enrolled Hauwa in the Hope Foundation, ensuring school fees were covered. You remind me of someone, Zainab told Hauwa afterward, a girl who once had nothing but refused to give up, who believed tomorrow could be different. Who was she? Zainab smiled. She was me. And now I see her in you. That evening, Zainab visited her mother at his group home. Hajiya Binta was weaving a basket in the garden. Mama, I met a girl today who reminded me of us. Hajiya Binta looked up, eyes clear. Did you help her? Yes, Mama, just like someone once helped me. That's good, very good. She patted Zainab's hand. Sometimes I forget things. Where am I? Where I am. What year is it? It is. But I never forget how proud I am of you. Even when my mind is confused, my heart remembers. Zainab leaned on her mother's shoulder. I love you, Mama, and I love you, my daughter. But my doctor, my miracle. Later that night, Zainab sat in her mother's apartment reflecting on her journey, from motor park to medical school, from invisibility to recognition, from despair to purpose. She thought about Alhaji Diko, who had seen potential where others saw poverty, about Amina, who had offered friendship when others offered scorn, about all who had chosen kindness over indifference. But most of all, she thought about Hauwa and thousands like her. Children trapped in circumstances not their fault. Brilliant minds going to waste because the world refused to look. She pulled out her laptop and began typing an expansion proposal for the Hope Foundation to reach 10 more states. Ambitious, requiring significant funding, but Zainab had learned impossible is just a word people use before someone proves them wrong. She looked out at the Sokoto skyline, a city she had once viewed from gutters, now a city where she stood as Dr. Zainab Musa, psychiatrist, advocate, living proof that circumstances don't write destinies. People do, choices do, compassion does, and somewhere in Nigeria today, another child sees invisible, brilliant, and forgotten, another Zainab waiting to be seen. The question is, who will see them? Who will be the one to say, I believe in you, let me help? Who will plant the next mango tree? The end. This story is dedicated to every invisible child, every struggling family, and every person who chooses compassion over indifference. Your kindness matters more than you know. Plant a mango tree, change a life, transform a nation. Thank you for watching. What did you learn from the story? Write it down in the comment section and do come back for more interesting stories. Bye.